right, ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks have come back and stolen Game 1 on San Antonio's home floor. They started out strong with a 14-7 run, and the San Antonio Spurs countered 20-3. And largely, this was a game of runs throughout. I mean, it just seemed like whoever was going to have the momentum in the fourth quarter was going to win this game. And luckily for the Knicks, they got Jalen Brunson. He is not going to shy away from the moment. So let's get into this game. I'm going to give you guys some recap and analysis on my thoughts of this game. And if you stick around, I'll tell you who I think tonight's MVP of Game 1 was. So let's get into the video. So first off, like I said before, largely it was a game of runs, and honestly, I was kind of hoping that this turned out to be true because Jalen Brunson, he injured his knee, but I was hoping he would come back, and he did, and he finished very strong. And honestly, he wasn't looking great to start, 1 for 8 and a 3, so could have been better to start, but like I'm gonna touch on later, he finished strong. I said it before. I'll probably say it a couple more times. So he didn't start great, but it's about the finish that mattered. Also, Victor Wembanyama, he had a great defensive impact for the Spurs. There's a reason that he was a finalist for the MVP, and there was a reason that he was the unanimous Defensive Player of the Year this season. He was a defensive anchor. He's big, he's tall, he's going to dominate the paint, and he did that tonight. He had multiple blocks, and even when he wasn't blocking the shots, he was altering shots, and there were multiple times that the Knicks would either get like altered shots just because Wembanyama's big and he's going to contest shots at 7'4", or they would just straight up get into the paint and see Wembanyama and just like try and kick it out to somebody else because they just don't even want to contest him at that point. So again, Victor Wembanyama, he is always going to be the defensive monster that he was tonight, and he just absolutely was a reason that the Spurs were even in this game for the most part. So Julian Champagnie, he also started hot from 3. He got 5 shots throughout the game from deep that went in, and part of this was just due to the Knicks not being good on perimeter defense to start, but eventually they figured him out and they were able to kind of keep him in check throughout the game. So I'm happy with how they played in the second half. Just a little bit frustrating with the way they started because I know this team can be better than their start to the game. Also, even though OG Anunoby wasn't great offensively, Wembanyama was forcing him to take jump shots from the mid-range or floaters that aren't really in his arsenal because he doesn't have the touch to like float the ball as much as like what we saw Isaiah Hartenstein doing last round, where he was able to get that push shot to go. He still made a good defensive impact. He was getting rebounds, and he was still contributing in a lot of different ways on the floor. Also, shout out Landry Shamet. He had a double-digit scoring night off the bench. He's going to be one of the most important bench players in this series for both teams because when he has a good night, the Knicks have a chance to win. And he had another good game tonight from 3 for 5 to start, and he's just such an important player to this roster. He had a great shooting series in the conference finals, 11 for 12. A lot of that momentum carried over tonight. So also, Victor Wembanyama was held largely in check tonight. 6 of 16 from the field. He had more free throws than field goals made, and it was largely a big reason why the Knicks were able to win. When Victor Wembanyama gets going on offense, and he is just as impactful on the offensive end as he can be on the defensive end, the Spurs are one of the most unbeatable teams in the league. So that's going to be a crucial part to the Knicks winning this series if they want to keep going and win 3 more games. Also, just not related to the game necessarily, but did y'all see that streaker just run out and start taking selfies on the court? Like, bro, get your goofy bum off the court. We're trying to hoop, bro. Get out. It was funny as hell though. It was funny as hell though to watch. Just watching the whole security team just migrate to that one dude. Like, bro, I think 2 guys would have been enough. Also, Mitchell Robinson was like, yo, what's this dude on? Also, Stephon Castle, bit of a poor shooting night from 3, 1 for 5. Dylan Harper, though, him and Julian Champagnie, they had a great game. I already talked about Julian Champagnie, but Dylan Harper, he was just outstanding tonight. For him to be 20 years old and already comfortable playing in the brightest lights on the NBA Finals stage, he is going to be an all NBA player one day. I think he's going to be one of the greatest players in the league once he gets into his prime. Also, De'Aaron Fox, bro, you need to give the Spurs their money back. Over $200 million for you to be 3 for 13. It's not even just this game. Game 7 against OKC, where he was good, that was more of an outlier. I don't know what's up with him. I mean, he's a great player in his career, but this playoffs, man, he's just not been it. I don't know if it's his ankle or something, but he's just something's up with him lately. I really hope that he figures it out next season. I'm fine with him playing this way against the Knicks. I want my Knicks to win, but next season I hope he figures it out. Like I said before, with Jalen Brunson playing well, he got 13 points in the fourth quarter, and he carried the Knicks across the finish line, got it done. He hit a corner 3 in the clutch to give them the lead, and from that moment on, they wouldn't look back and just kept the Spurs at arm's length to carry them across the finish line. Josh Hart, 15 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 steals, despite having not the best shooting night. He only had 3 points, but he still found a lot of different ways to impact the game. He had, like I said, 15 rebounds. He had more rebounds than Karl-Anthony Towns and Victor Wembanyama separate. And also, the Knicks bench mostly held in check. Deuce McBride had a quiet night. Jose Alvarado had a quiet night. I mean, they weren't bad, but they were quiet. Also, Mitchell Robinson and Karl-Anthony Towns, they were playing great defense. It was a lot of the reason that Victor Wembanyama was held in check, but also a lot of other players. Karl-Anthony Towns had a couple of nice blocks to kind of shift the momentum to the Knicks when they needed it. And just overall, the team was playing great, connected 5-player defense to just not let any one guy get left out alone. And it was a great game. So who's my MVP for the game? Even though Jalen Brunson had a great night, 30 points, and however many other rebounds and assists he had, give me Josh Hart as the MVP. He was a big spark plug in the fourth quarter to just get those effort plays, going out of bounds to get rebounds and save the ball. Just, like I said, 15 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals. That man was on fire tonight. Stay tuned for Game 2's post-game analysis and my keys to the game for Game 2. That'll be out tomorrow or just right before the game. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.